inspirational and thoughtful submissions to contribute to the summit agenda. And at the same time, we have space only for 25 slots. And so right now we are in this process of weaving together the most resonance proposals and co-create this journey together. And so another update about the summit is that slots are filling up quite quickly. So if you're interested to come, you may want to register as soon as possible. And so really this process so far showed us that there is already a very powerful field of energy and creativity and commitment alive within this movement. And so this is really to acknowledge that the summit is just a very important milestone, but not all of it. And so it's just a stop for a larger process. And so what we are really trying to create is a movement that is a living and evolving process. And so today is really to see how we can create this movement together and walk this path together towards conscious food systems. So we have a rich agenda, so I ask maybe Abby to share her screen to see what we have on our plate. We will start with a grounding practice, as always, that is done by our colleague Ashwini from Fiji. Then we will move into presenting the Conscious Food Systems Framework, which is one of the summit output, and present the consultation process that is taking place in order to harvest your comments on this document. Then we will go into a breakout room exercise where you will be able to start having conversation around this framework. And then finally, we will see how we can engage as a community towards the summit and beyond, how we can build this conscious food systems movement. And then there is time for Q&A, clarification, and then we close together. So let's begin and let's go to Ashwini. Please ground us to the present moment for this meeting. Over to you.
Thank you. Nisambula Vinaka, everyone, and namaste. I'm Ashwini and I'm communications specialist for COFSA and communications advisor for the summit and beyond. And I'm going to have the pleasure to take you through this little grounding ritual. And for me, it's quite important to start with an invocation in my own mother tongue. And so I would invite you to listen to this with your heart open. And at the same time, I also want to bring in my ancestors and my land and the oceans. And I bring you greetings from the oceans in the Pacific. So I want to invite all of it as part of this little meditation that we will do. And I would also like to ask you to connect with the land that you are sitting on right now. And wherever you are, just sort of grounding into that space, calling in that land, maybe calling in your grandparents, calling in whoever is right at top of your mind right now because they want to connect with us. So feel free. And I would also invite you to probably lower your eyelids. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable to close your eyes, but if not, just lower and look sort of at your hands or at the floor, so that there is no sort of direct interaction with the eyes. So we can go inward. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Par Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. With that, I invite the energy of our teachers and the masters and the divine masculine and feminine to accompany us. And I'd like to invite you to imagine a bright light shining above your head and entering through your head into your third eye, which is in between the eyebrows, And going slowly towards your throat. This brightness could be the brightness of the sun, of the brightness of the sun that shines upon waters and oceans, really sparkling. Imagine that sparkling light entering you. And from the throat, it lands into your heart. Let it spread in your heart, expanding the heart region, sparkling that energy of universal light, expanding the heart. And I invite you to imagine that there is roots filled with lights coming out of your heart and going towards the people who are next to you in the screen, whoever they may be, whatever colors, continents, races. Just feel those roots going towards the Kofsa community. Let's send those roots out also towards the four directions of the earth, expanding into the south, into the north, into the east and the west. And those sparkling roots are actually reaching out to the energy and the wisdom that's hidden around the mountains of Bhutan. I would like to invoke that energy. In fact, we don't physically need to be in Bhutan. We have that innate wisdom that Bhutan brings right now in us. We were born with that wisdom. And I'd like us to remember the innate wisdom that we hold and bring that into this field right now in this Kofsa community. Let's feel that root in our heart again. And I'd like you to bring that light energy down your spine, going towards the base and going into the earth. Feel this light and a little tug pulling you into the earth, really taking you deep and grounding you. Send that light to Mother Earth and in the heart of Mother Earth, deep, deep, deep into that rich soil. Now connect with the light of Mother Earth and feel the interconnection between your heart and the earth's heart. And let's bring that energy up back into our field and spread it back into the Kofsa community. And I invite you to bring that light as you will create this vision together of the transformation of the food systems. Each one of you will bring a beautiful seed and light, and every drop in the ocean is going to matter and create this beautiful tapestry of light. With that, I invite you to come into the space and share your visions and hopes for the transformation that we all await. Take a deep breath in and release. And when you feel ready, you can lift your eyes, open them, and connect with the people sitting next to you on the screen. Thank you. Vinaka Vakalevu.
You're on mute, Noemi. That's you. Thank you, Ashwini.
So let's bring this energy into our time together today, and we move to the next item, which is presenting the kosher food system framework. So where to Thomas?
Thank you very much, Ashwini, Noemi, and great to be with you all. This collective endeavor that we call this Global Conscious Food System Summit. And we are working on some very important documents to be released at the summit that we will share now some with you. There will be a whole framework on conscious food system with a vision, some guidelines about how to integrate that into your work. We'll expand our case studies collections. We'll have also a document on the lessons learned, and we'll be working also on some summit recommendations. We'll go to the next slide. Thank you. So today we will look in particular at the vision for conscious food systems, and we'll go into some element, one element of the guidelines for conscious food systems that we are preparing. Can go to the next slide. So we have been working now for almost a year already with you on this vision. We had some first consultation in our Alliance gathering back in June last year, and we have had different opportunities to discuss this with some of you. And now we want to start, a broader consultation process, and I think each of you to comment, and we'll share on that. But basically, where we are landing is that a conscious food systems is regenerative, healthy, equitable, but also soul nourishing or providing inner nourishment. We are asking you what is the right language that we should use. And which means that food systems policies and law both need to reflect these key values, but also foster their cultivation in society, leading to deeper relationship with ourselves, others, and nature. And it's, we are unpacking what we mean by conscious food systems. So it's an ideal vision, but we are aware that, we don't expect that vision to be truly found anywhere, but we do know that there are different pieces of this puzzle already existing in many of the work you are doing. So it's an inspirational compass to guide our decision making, and complemented by the guidelines that will provide actionable strategies to get us to that vision, to realize that vision. So here we have decided to present that vision, to visualize it through this form of a tree. And we have made two different trees with slightly different language, and that's something we want to hear from you. But basically, we have the consciousness and the inner capacities, which are below the ground that we don't see, but is what determines what grows on this soil, that tree. And consciousness we associate often with reconnection with self, nature, and others. And inner capacities, here we have used a number of key values that we think should be derived into principles that should shape conscious food systems. And as they shape it, we have equity, health, regeneration, and also inner nourishment. So here are the values that we have been developing and their associated principles. So I will read them. We start with awareness. Mindful awareness, taking a holistic perspective grounded in scientific understanding and other relevant forms of knowledge, shape decisions and behaviors. The second one, we want to ask you, should we call it life? Should we call it harmony with nature? And the principle is as such recognizing that we are part of an animate, sentient, and intelligent nature. Food systems work in harmony with natural processes and principles. The third one, we're wondering if it should be called care or compassion. A culture of care and compassion irrigates food systems, policies, and practices. Then we have well-being. Well-being and planetary health are prioritized over profit maximization. Justice. Active mechanism exists to uphold rights, address inequities, and protect decision-making processes from undue influence. Then responsibility. A culture of ethical responsibility and reciprocity complements and supports individual and collective rights. Peace. Conflicts are transformed through nonviolent and restorative practices, fostering understanding, healing, and unity. Diversity. Cultural and biological diversity are recognized as a richness to preserve and a source of resilience. And finally, the sacredness and dignity of Mother Earth, food, human lives, ancestors, and future generations are honored. And we will share with you, as we start launching this consultation process, the whole text. There is an introduction. All of these values and principles are unpacked in one paragraph for each of them. So you will have access to all these draft document, and we'll ask you to your views on that. Over to you, Charlotte.
Thank you very much. Well, we know very well from experience that it's one thing to have values, but it's quite another to actually embody them. And one thing that's really important in this work we're trying to do is what was at the root of the tree, the notion that all of this is grounded in an expanding consciousness. And when my consciousness expands to my feeling, knowing that I am one with nature, for example, that I am you, you are me, then it comes naturally out of my heart that I want to care, that I want to respect life. But practically, what does it look like in the work we do on food systems? And that's where the guidelines come in. So there are 3 pillars in these guidelines, and we'll elaborate the first one here. The first is what we're calling core dimensions of conscious working. It's not we're not sure about the name yet, but you'll see what we have in terms of content. It's really how we work individually and collectively. The second is a checklist of questions for designing or assessing and evaluating conscious food systems initiatives, be them investments, policies, programs. They help provide a lens through which we could look at our programs and say, how is the inner dimension addressed here? How is this initiative helping strengthen the values that Thomas just described? How is this initiative helping strengthen the relationships with nature, with each other, with our own self? And the last section wants to really ground it further with concrete actions and investments that can be done, such as investing in individual practices, collective practices like conscious facilitation, but also very practical interventions like certain ways of farming that are more respectful of nature, or certain ways of driving policies that are more inclusive and respectful of justice. So these are the 3 buckets. We're still working on the last 2, so too soon to share, but we'd like to share with you today what we've called these core dimensions of conscious working. So these relate, this is not fully new information, it might resonate already, but we've identified 5 areas. The one we put at the top is this notion of service. We want to be in service of life. It entails working with intention, attuning to a higher wisdom in whichever way you like to refer to it, having courage, but also enthusiasm and demonstrating willpower. All of this needs to be anchored in presence, bringing our whole self, being open-minded and open-hearted, demonstrated joyful equanimity rather, and also self-awareness, humility, taking the journey as one of learning about myself and others in the world. It's all about working in a way that strengthens relationships with empathy and non-judgment, acceptance and forgiveness, appreciation and authentic communication. That relationship building enables co-creation that takes place where there's psychological safety and trust, group alignment and coherence around a common vision and a common attunement to this higher wisdom. The ability to integrate multiple perspectives. I may not agree, but I'm ready to see that you see the world differently, and let's see how we put this together. And inclusive decision making, where everybody has a space to bring in their unique point of view. And finally, all of this supports an evolution, the emergence, something that requires us to work often with non-attachment, because maybe the wisdom of life actually wants to drive things in a way that is different from what our limited minds can perceive. It's also about continual learning, taking the journey as the goal in and of itself, but also taking moments to celebrate. So this is all, a bit of a guide on how can we best serve in making food systems more regenerative, healthy, just, and soul nourishing, but at the same time grow as we do that, seeing personal growth and expansion of our consciousness as also a goal in and of itself. So quite an agenda here, but hopefully some that resonates with you. And I think Abby is going to tell us how you can help us enrich this. How is that going to happen, Abby?
Thanks, Charlotte. So, as we've mentioned, the whole process so far has already been built on the amazing feedback that came from our Alliance gathering last June. So, it's been a long journey already that we've really taken very seriously with all of the inputs that came through that Alliance gathering. But now we want to open it up even further so that it's a really co-created set of different pieces. And the first one will be the vision document. So we'll be sharing with you a form which gives space for you to go through each of the different values, the principles, and really share your feedback on whether what we have documented resonates with you, if it feels right, and also to share your views on some of those questions that we were holding. So Thomas mentioned a few of the different values where we're still holding some uncertainty. Should it be this? Should it be that? And we really turn to the wisdom of the Alliance as a whole to guide that. And so that form will be where you can share your detailed reflections and help us to shape the vision. It will be open until June the 15th. And then at our next Alliance gathering, which is coming up on June the 25th, we will have a final discussion around the vision. And actually, just to note as well, so it's not on here, but we do also have a form for the core dimensions of conscious working that Charlotte just went through. So alongside the vision, there's also another form that will then give you space to feedback again in detail on each of the different dimensions that we just went through. If it feels right, if you have any comments or suggestions, and so we can really work together. And that one's really based on, all of you are doing work where you are working consciously in food systems. So it's exactly where we should be getting that wisdom from. And we also invite you, if appropriate or possible, to come together and connect over this question. So co-creation happens best in discussion, in relation. So whether you are able to meet with each other in person, for those who have national hubs and have been able to do that so far, or if you wanted to connect virtually together, the invitation is for you to share space around these questions. And we've shared here what that could look like. So just as today we've come together, we have grounded, and we're going through this, the invitation is that if you feel called, you can come together to meditate, to go over the documents together, and then from that, to share your reflections through the forms. And we're going to do a micro version of that in the breakout groups. So in a moment, Noemi will open up the breakout groups for you all. We'll be together for 30 minutes in groups of around 10. We ask you to please, at the beginning, identify a note taker who will be able to share all of the notes into the document that Noemi will also share in the chat so that they're all recorded in one place. Each breakout group will have space to discuss both the vision and the core dimensions of conscious working. So it's up to you to choose which one you start with, but please make sure you have an eye on the time so that there's time to discuss both. We'll put the questions in the chat box for you as well so that you have a record of them when you go into the different breakout groups. But for the vision, we really want to be exploring whether what Thomas shared resonates with you, both the images, the definition, the values, whether the overarching definition of regenerative, healthy, equitable, and either soul nourishing or inner nourishing feels whole. If you like how it has been illustrated, if it feels like it captures what we're trying to convey, whether there are any values missing that feel essential, or any comments on the specific values if the terminology feels accurate. And then for the core dimensions of conscious working, we want to understand really if the framework resonates with you. And if it doesn't, why not? We want to understand if they're the right dimensions, if you like how it's been illustrated, and if there are any dimensions that don't feel accurate, if there's anything missing or that doesn't fit, we'd love to hear all of your thoughts. So I think Naomi will put us into these.
And Abby, just a sec, there's a question about where people can see the slides of the vision of core values. What I would suggest is if you can quickly show again the slide with the values and principles so people can take a picture on their phones if they want, and we can also copy the slide in the Google Drive. And we can also show again the slide with the core dimensions so people can take a photo of their phone. I think, yeah, that slide is quite important. If you want to take a screenshot, and we'll post it also in the PowerPoint where you have the slides for the taking notes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and maybe we can add, clearly the links to the different the vision. Yeah, all right. Thanks.
there you go. If you want to take a screenshot of the conscious working, and we'll put the questions in the chat. Over to Naomi to break us out.
Yes, I'm gonna open the room. See you in 30 minutes.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello. Just bear a little bit more with me for
Noemi,
yes, Charlotte. Yeah.
if I must, just to say, no, thank you for all the contributions. Many of us from the COFSA team were in your group, so we had all ears. We'll take the notes, but we really do encourage you to fill the forms, which give more space for. We know we just bumped a big framework at you and like, okay, feedback. No, please take the time to. We will really appreciate your feedback. Thank you very much. And now there's more, so be ready for it.
Yes, exactly. So let me just share my screen. Now it's really how we can engage as a community, how we can co-create this movement towards the summit. So I will go through those three sections. So the first one is activating the heart of food systems transformation. The second is about the online regional watch parties that will happen during the summit. And then the possibility to host a conscious food systems event from now until the summit that we can advertise on our webpage. So one step at a time, let's start with activating the heart of food systems transformation. So, as you know, COPS is really about how we can engage with our heart, how we can engage with our heart and really bring also our emotion, our full self. So we have drafted those questions for our own reflection. And the invitation is really to share those reflections either in a creative way. So share your offering like in a form of drawings, in a form of traditional musics or songs, in a form of a video on this Padlet platform that I will show you just now. Or you can come together and have a sharing circle, an online sharing circle where you can discuss those type of questions. And those questions really about what are you grateful for in food systems, what your heart is longing to see and to contribute around food systems, what breaks your heart in food systems. So it's really taking the time to ground yourself. We have prepared some meditations to actually ground yourself into the right space and then share with your own creativity what is for you activating the heart. And here is the Padlet platform. It's very, very simple to use. We have guidelines here on the left part, and then either you are from Americas, from Africa, Asia, Europe, you are welcome to add your contribution. So you can put videos, you can put songs, you can put anything you would like to share. And this is very important because we would like to harvest those creative pieces and integrate them into an artistic installation in Bhutan. And same for the video. We would like to compile them and bring those voices and those faces that are with us alongside the year, alongside those months, and that cannot come to Bhutan. So that's the intention behind. So this is exactly the Padlet platform. Then there is a regional watch party that will happen for those that cannot come to the summit. So we have online regional watch parties that we will organize in the different regions, so in the Americas, in the European and African time zone, and then in Asia. We are also looking for other hosts. So if you would like to host a regional watch party, you are welcome to do so. And you can fill a form that is available in the chat or write to me. And then at the same time, we had some members asking if they could organize an on-site regional watch parties. And so if you are an organization or a university and you would like to organize your own watch party, you're welcome to do so. And so you can fill this form or you can write to me. And the format is not just to watch the summit, but it's really to connect. So there is dialogue happening after that will be facilitated. There is a lot of sharing and connection. And so we have a guidance note that will be put in the chat where all those information will be available and also in a follow-up email so you don't lose all those informations. Finally, we have the possibility to host on our website. So if you do go on our Conscious Food Systems Alliance website, under the events page, there is a possibility now to submit your own event. When you go there, you have the possibility to put informations like the title, the descriptions, the Zoom link eventually, put your image, and then once you have uploaded, it will showcase on our website. So we really invite everyone that feel inspired to offer a Conscious Food Systems event. from now until the summit. We have received so many proposals. So for those of you that have submitted a proposal and you have not been accepted because we only had 25 slots, we really encourage you to actually create your own online event and just submit here, and it will be open for all our community to join. So if you feel inspired, we really would like to encourage this possibility to host different events, because we have seen that there is a lot of momentum, a lot of curiosities, and many people really wanted to share their knowledge, their wisdom. And so we just want to emphasize that the guiding values for those events is really compassion, deep listening, reciprocity, and so try to avoid maybe commercializing outputs. And then, yes, those events will be organized by members, so are not organized by us, by the Secretariat, but we are very happy to actually share those possibilities with you. So exactly, just go to the submit the form event and it will be possible to be on our website. Then we have a social media campaign happening for the summit. If you would like to contribute to spread the word, we will be super glad. We will share all those materials by email. But yeah, this mainly all the information we want to give. And now there is time for you to ask any questions, any curiosities you might have. And so I stop, maybe share my screen, and I pass to Charlotte if you would like to facilitate this conversation.
Sure. How is everybody? A little bit confused, a little bit overwhelmed, knocked out by too much information, or did you get it? So if you feel you want some clarification, we will fully understand. And yes, we will be sharing everything in an email. I mean, we really, really want to make this a very inclusive space. We know how hard it is to get to Bhutan, and the thing is, we're actually selling out right now, so we might even disappoint people who could make it, which is rather a good thing when you think about it, although it makes us sad, which is why we really want all these spaces. So feel free to share any thoughts, suggestions, questions. The space is yours. Thank you, Kasim. Uh-oh, Noemi, we've knocked them out.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
yeah,
hello.
I am Professor Anil Kumar. I am Director Education, Rani Lakshmibai Central Agriculture University, Jhansi. Indeed, I belongs to central part of India, and central part of India called Bundelkhand. It is really having a lot of agricultural problem, farming community which are facing. And considering that our new university has been established over here in the name of Rani Lakshmibai Central Agriculture University, and Rani Lakshmibai is considered as a symbol of bravery. And here I would like to mention that food conscious system, once we are talking about every country all over the world, and even within a country, there is a different regions. They are inheriting lot of dietary dietary habits, and they are going since generation after generation. And they are earlier practiced based on the principle called slow. Slow means seasonal, local, organic, and wholesome food. And that was the principle that you are not now, because of globalization. Now there is a lot of exchange of the knowledge, and simultaneously exchange of the food system is also going on. And many things from the China, India, maybe European country, they are now famous and recognized in other countries as well. So my question is that whatever we are eating since ancient time, and I used to quote, what we are, what we ate, what our grandmother ate, what we are, what my grandmother ate, and what we are. altering the food system,
Yes.
then how gut microbiome get altered. And that is kind of the consciousness based on scientific rationale. And that is to be very much reflected in the summit, that scientific rationalization based on the scientific principle. When we are talking about the uh, combination of food, what kind of the combination that is being practiced since ancient time, based on the not only the experiences, not only by the experimentation, but because of their continuous experiences they have made that this is healthy, this is not healthy. But now
Yes.
science is proving it is because of the nutrient and anti-nutrient interaction. So they are making complementary and supplementary approach for designing the food. And
Yes.
that is kind of the consciousness.
Yeah.
And then simultaneously, consciousness should also be reflected how it is beneficial, whether it is going to heal your ailments, whether it will provide the health, whether it will provide
Yeah.
the energy. So energy is one of the most important parameter that is to be taken care, because sometimes the energy is governed by your genetic makeup.
Yes, thank you, Professor. I just want to make sure others can also come in, but thank you very much. Is there a final point you want to make in your question or
Yeah,
in your...
only thing is my thinking of food consciousness should be reflected through scientific rationalization and energy level, that is basically how it is basically governed by eating different kind of the food. Even our ancient system, we have the several medicinal plant having, they are
Yes.
boosting the energy. They are the energy booster in our own country we are having. So that Ayurveda practices, and that's why we are working here on a not-to-profit scientific organization that is called Nutri Ayur Innovative Research Foundation, blending
Okay.
of the nutrition with Ayurveda for sustainable nutri healthcare solution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. No, and these are super important questions. And indeed, we will be looking at how we bring traditional wisdom and science and also the regional diversity of people and foods. It's going to be a very important part of the conversation. And plants, food as medicine.
Yes.
Kasim, I see your hand.
Yeah. Shall I continue?
Yes, please go ahead. And please be a little brief in case we have other interventions.
Yeah, thank you very much. So my question lays on localization and local finance. So conscious food system requires grassroots ownership. How can global frameworks better support and integrate hyper local financial structures like village saving and loan association to ensure holders have the economic resilience to adapt to climate smart agriculture? And I am asking this question from Ethiopian context point of view. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kasim. It's a very delicate question indeed, and that will be one of the topics of conversation on the last day of the summit. In particular, we will be looking at finance and investments, and bringing together different perspectives: government, multilateral funding initiatives, but also local government like municipalities. That will also be one of the conversations. The role of local governments and private sector, both small private sector but also large. To look at how we can build mindful markets and value chains that can benefit everybody. We know the market dynamics are very, very difficult and don't work in this way. But maybe if we put the values of the vision at the heart of how investors and companies work, we can make a little bit of progress. And there will be at the summit some corporate companies who are trying to work in ways that are aligned with these values. But we all agree there's a lot to be done in that field. So thank you.
Thank you, too.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? It can also be answers or reflections back to Kasim and the professor. Jaya Lakshmi, the floor is yours.
Hi, Charlotte. So I just wanted to quickly ask that I'm a plant-based chef and I work for the Plant-Based Treaty. I'm also the regional liaison in Asia. And we actually recently came to Bhutan. We were there for a month, and we are helping change menus and make it add plant-based options in Bhutan and get people conscious about food. So I just wanted to quickly check with you: does it make sense for an organization like us also to come visit the summit? Is there something in it for us, like the sort of?
Well, there would be something in it for us if you come, from what it sounds. I would be very curious to find out more about your work. But I think, we've actually been sometimes moved to tears by the creativity and inspiration we receive from the 250 submissions. And we can tell you that the people who will be there have so much experience and wisdom. I mean, many of you are in this Zoom room as I speak, but I think it will be a space where everybody will learn a lot, and it will not be a summit where you've got this wise speaker speaking on the podium and everybody else listening passively. No, we will all be learning from each other, interacting, and there will be other people coming, for example, from Nepal, and I can't remember off the top of my head other countries, but cooking together and looking at how we use food for social integration or food for health. A lot of people from India, from Sri Lanka, Pacific Island also will be there. So yes, if you'd like to come, please email us, as I think it would be, sounds like there would be, and we'll have a lot of spaces for interaction, exhibition, cooking. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
But do reach out fast and register fast, because we are filling up the spaces to the point that we feel we might not be able to welcome everybody who wants to come, unfortunately. We have the venues limited. I think I had seen, I think, Marie-Antoinette raise your hand, but I don't know if it was intentional.
It was intentional. Thank you.
Yay,
Just
go
take
for it.
10 seconds. Thank you so much. It was a very interesting working group we had, and we didn't really understand if you wanted us to help you choose for one of the two trees, but we were very happy about the first tree, and that's what we wanted to share. And the other thing, we were just missing the word food sovereignty. So that would be one of the issues. We would be happy if it would be possible to join it. And there's a little wording that we shared within the discussion to resume it in a short summary, in a short sentence. Sorry.
Thank you very much, Marie-Antoinette. Yes, we'll take good note of that. And you're not the first one to point it out. So it's one of the things we are trying to do also is, on one hand, acknowledge all the body of work that is already there. And at the same time, try to see what is something that brings another dimension to it, which is more focused on the inner. And it's true, the food sovereignty has so far been largely tackled from a political point of view, very needed political point of view and economic point of view. So I think the question we're holding is, okay, what is the inner dimension of that, and what needs to be strengthened or mobilized, catalyzed to advance food sovereignty? But thank you for that. Any other reflections? Guylaine or Ghislaine?
Hello.
Yes, no, is it Dominica? I saw Ghislaine have your hand up. Maybe Ghislaine first and then Dominica?
Yes. Okay.
Ghislaine is...
Sorry, never mind. I didn't mean to raise up my hand. I just I just love the idea, and I agree to the point that the food system needs to, the conscious food system needs to have grassroots ownership. Someone has mentioned, I just wanted to appreciate that. And it is very meaningful, because these are the people who are focusing and spending their whole time growing food and processing and doing all of that. I agree that, yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, maybe we need to put it forward even more. Thank you. Dominica, and afterwards Vaisha. Dominica, then Vaishali Selassie. So please all be quick, because we have 5 minutes to go. Dominica?
Okay. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, Dominica from Kenya. I would wish to, when I looked at the tree, one important point was the value. And when I look at the whole world, we have the issue of and then we have food waste. It's an important area whereby we need to discuss it more and enhance the knowledge to the public, to the community about the food safety, the food handling from the farm to the market to the storage to the consumer, who is the human person, the human being. It's a very important area whereby it's affecting our health all over the world. So if it is part of that discussion, it can really help our people all over the world. Not only in my country, there's that issue. Even other countries have that issue.
Yes.
It's a point to be put more effort in all of us so that people can get the knowledge. We give the knowledge about the handling of our food so that we can consume the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
And also, excuse. I would also to request that I registered for the summit, but I haven't received the invitation letter, please. Thank you.
Thank you. To be honest, we're quite overwhelmed. So all of us are writing emails like crazy, but we can't keep track. But we're on it. We're on it. And if food is considered sacred, and if we want to respect life, including food, then maybe we will waste less. Vaishali, please be very quick, and then Selassie.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'll be very, very quick and brief. So from the breakout discussions, we figured out generally, I feel like two more words can be in the tree and the values, which is the foundation of all the values that we already have, including responsibility, overall well-being, and co-creation. I believe the roots and the foundation should have love and belongingness. And it is through love and belongingness that we all are here sitting on this platform and planning Bhutan Summit. So that's it. I want to conclude on this. Thanks.
Thank you for that, Vaishali. I I love that. Selassie.
Okay, this is Selassie from Ghana Permaculture Institute. What I want to add and contribute to is how can we, after the conference, how can we collaborate with similar institutions to carry the education and awareness forward that publicly people can be aware of how to take care of their simple daily food system and processing, because most of the time these kind of meetings are even highly raised, and then the ordinary person in society normally don't get participation. So going forward, I want us to how we can collaborate and relate to one another in various institutions that can be collaborating and bringing it.
Thank you, Selassie. That's actually one of the things we will be discussing also in the summit, is how we can
the
work
local community so that in future they can community.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is I'm thinking of how we can collaborate and make it easier, because where I am is an institution that talk about ecological sustainability, but even the local communities don't understand this sort of life. And so going forward, what kind of barrier or bridges can we build to bring these local people closer to the international realization so that we can be on the same page? Thank you.
This is a wonderful question, Selassie, and one that we really want to discuss together at the summit. We've also had conversation with COFs about regionalizing, having more regional conversations or even national conversations so that you can support each other in your regions, building on local opportunities. But we also have circles like the Circle of Research and Higher Education, where you can meet with other professors. There's no simple answer to that, but by making these connections both locally and across areas of similar professions, we can support each other. But yes, and maybe we should have a specific online conversation about that one day.
Yeah. I think that will help a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah, now probably in the summit follow-up. So thank you for your question.
Yeah, even after the summit, following up, we can do many different way of education and bring closer.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So clearly, this is only the beginning. Thank you, Selassie.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Thomas. Would you like to say any words? You had this crazy idea. It's all because of his idea, that this is. So we're trying to follow. But how are you feeling after this call, Thomas? Any final words?
Thank you, Charlotte. And yes, this has been, just to say, really a bit of a crazy journey for us toward the summit, but we have been really feeling supported by all of you, and really the stars aligning for this to happen in a beautiful way. And for us, it's also very important that this summit is not only about these 5 days in Bhutan. It's a whole process of engagement, of mobilization, of movement building, and that's why it's so important that we can have your views on this vision, on these core dimensions of conscious working that we have prepared, that we really want to have your feedbacks on. And we want to really this process to be very inclusive, and that you can come to your communities, to your networks with this concept of conscious food systems, and bring or offer your offerings so that we can bring them into the summit. There will be a beautiful artistic installation to process all of this. And we just really, it's very important for us to feel that all of you, including those that will not be able to join us in Bhutan, feel part of this process and that we are moving forward together. So thank you so much, and we appreciate there was a lot of information during this this session, and we'll have follow-up emails, and we'll unpack all of that in our upcoming communication so that you can effectively engage. So thank you so much for your support, and have a great day, and looking forward to moving forward together.
And actually, if you're not yet a COFSA member, you can sign up on our website, and then you can join the Alliance Gathering, which is for members only, on the 25th of June, right, Noemi? And that's where we'll be also sharing a little bit more about the summit agenda and sharing back all we will have received as feedback. So yeah, hoping to see you then. And thank you, Noemi, and the whole team, and Luz and Abby for all the preparations, Nico, Rainier, a lot of teamwork happening in the background. Have a beautiful, and Jimena, Jimena. Okay, we say hi, Jimena. She's the Wonder Woman making the summit happen.
Very nice to see all of you.
Okay, may the force be with you. Yeah, you know.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye.
nice time.